Have you ever found yourself wide awake in the middle of the night? It can be frustrating, right? You're laying there, staring at the ceiling. Your body is awake, but your mind is racing. Thoughts keep swirling around, making it hard to settle down again. You toss and turn, trying to get comfortable. It feels like time is moving so slowly. Maybe you even check the clock and see it's 3 a.m. or later. You wonder why you're awake at such an odd hour. And if this happens to you often, especially between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., you might feel like something's wrong. But the truth is, it might not be what you think. This might not just be insomnia or a random sleepless night. There could be something much deeper going on. You could be waking up because you're one of God's chosen. This isn't just a coincidence. In fact, God might be calling you for something special during this time. It's time to look at these wakeful moments from a different perspective. In this video, we'll explore why you might be waking up at these hours, what it means, and how to take advantage of this unique opportunity. So, stay with me until the end, because the answers you're looking for might be right here, waiting for you. C.S. Lewis once said, "God whispers to us in our pleasures, speaks in our conscience, but shouts in our pains." It is his megaphone to rouse a deaf world. Could it be that your middle-of-the-night awakenings are God's way of shouting at you? What if he's trying to get your attention during these quiet moments? What if these wake-ups are more than just a random occurrence? It's possible that God is trying to tell you something important. Could these awakenings be his way of waking you up to something deeper, something you need to hear? It might be uncomfortable at first, but it's worth considering. If this idea is new to you, I encourage you to stick around. This video could be a turning point for you. It's time to think about these moments as more than just insomnia. What if they're spiritual moments instead? It's not just a sleep problem. It could be a divine call, a moment when God is reaching out to you. Instead of stressing about not being able to sleep, it might be time to listen. Listen to God's voice and seek understanding. He might be calling you for a deeper connection during this special hour. These wakeful nights could be a moment of profound spiritual significance. C.S. Lewis also wrote, "God cannot give us a happiness and peace apart from himself, because it is not there. There is no such thing." What does this mean for you during these early morning awakenings? Could it be that God is offering you peace during this quiet time? In the stillness of the night, when everything is quiet, God might be offering you peace. But it's not just any peace. This is a deep, lasting peace that can only come from him. It's a peace that transcends the chaos of everyday life. These moments, especially between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., could be an invitation from God to experience this peace. This could be a time when he wants to draw near to you, to calm your heart, and bring you closer to him. When you wake up during these hours, it might be a divine invitation to stop, listen, and be still. God wants to give you peace, a peace that only he can provide. During this time, he might be offering you a chance to experience that peace like never before. There are specific hours, known as the watch hours, that hold deep spiritual significance. The 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. window is one of these sacred times. This period is referred to as the fourth and final watch. It's called an hour of visitation, a time when God visits his chosen ones. During these hours, God often imparts divine wisdom and angelic guidance. The Bible is full of examples of significant moments that took place during these hours. In Genesis 32:26, we see Jacob's life-changing encounter with God. Jacob wrestled with a man, refusing to let go until he received a blessing. That encounter forever changed his life. Similarly, In Mark 6:48, we see another powerful visitation at the fourth watch. Jesus walked on water to meet his disciples, who were struggling against a storm. At this time, God's presence was powerful, and his intervention was life-changing. These examples show us that God often moves in powerful ways during this special hour. He wants to visit you in the same way he visited Jacob and the disciples. If you find yourself awake between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., don't just ignore it. This could be a divine moment, a time when God wants to speak to you. It's not just a random awakening. It could be a sacred time set aside for you to connect with God. Instead of being frustrated or anxious about being awake, take a moment to consider that God might have a purpose for this time. When you wake up during these hours, pause. Think about the possibility that God is trying to get your attention. It's more than just a sleep disturbance. It could be a spiritual invitation. Don't dismiss it. These wakeful hours could be a divine appointment, a sacred moment in your day. God may want to visit you just like he visited those in the Bible during these special hours. So, if you wake up during these times, open your heart. This could be your opportunity to hear from God, to receive his guidance, and to draw closer to him. Now that you know these hours hold deep spiritual significance, what should you do if you find yourself awake during them? The first thing you should do is not try to force yourself back to sleep. This could be a divine moment, a time when God wants to connect with you. Instead of trying to go back to sleep, take a moment to be still. It's not just about getting more rest. It's about opening yourself to receive blessings, wisdom, and guidance from God. This time isn't a random disturbance. It's a chance to pause and listen to what God has for you. So, when you're awake, don't just roll over and hope you fall back asleep. Instead, recognize that it could be an important moment in your spiritual journey. God may be giving you an opportunity to hear from him, to receive something you need in your life. The hours between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. could be the perfect time for this. Take a deep breath, be still, and open your heart to what God might want to say. The first thing you should do is pray fervently. When God wakes you up during these hours, don't just lie there and wonder why you're awake. Pray. The enemy knows that God works powerfully during these hours, so he tries to work against you. This is a time when the devil often tries to bring confusion, fear, and distractions into your life. But you don't have to be afraid. God has equipped you with powerful spiritual tools to fight against these attacks. In Matthew 13:25, Jesus talks about how the enemy works while we are unaware. Jesus says, while everyone was sleeping, his enemy came and sowed weeds among the wheat. That's why God wakes you up, to keep you alert and aware of what's going on around you. This is your time to stand guard, to protect your life, your family, and your loved ones. The Bible tells us that the weapons of our warfare are not physical, but they are mighty through God. Prayer is one of your most powerful weapons. When you pray, you activate God's power to fight back against the enemy's schemes. God has chosen you to be a watchman, someone who stands alert and guards what's important. Ezekiel 33:6 warns us that if a watchman sees danger but does not act, he is responsible. When God wakes you up in the middle of the night, he is calling you to be vigilant. This is your time to pray, to declare God's protection and wisdom over your life. God has equipped you with everything you need to stand firm against the enemy's attacks. The second thing you should do during these hours is meditate and spend time with God. This is a quiet, sacred time to hear from him. When you are still and quiet, your spirit is open to receive messages from God. These moments are a special time for God to speak clearly to you. In Job 33:14-15, we learn that God speaks through dreams and visions during the night. These could be the moments when God answers your prayers, gives you guidance, or reveals something about your future. But you have to be still. You need to quiet your mind and clear away distractions so you can focus on hearing from God. Sit in silence and acknowledge His presence. Allow Him to speak to your heart, to give you direction. During these hours, God may share new ideas, inspiration, or wisdom that can help you in your work, relationships, or finances. He might give you answers to problems you've been struggling with. The key is to listen closely. These moments can bring clarity and divine direction into every area of your life. The third thing you need to do when you wake up during this time is speak blessings over your life. The Bible teaches us that our words have power. In Proverbs, it says that life and death are in the power of the tongue. When God wakes you up, it's a chance to speak life into your future. This is the time to declare blessings over your day, your future, and your loved ones. Speak with confidence that God is guiding you and protecting you. Declare that you are walking in favor, peace, and victory. Remember the story of Joshua. In Joshua 10:12-13, Joshua spoke to the sun and moon, commanding them to stand still during a battle, and they obeyed. Your words, empowered by God's authority, can change things in your life. When God wakes you up during these hours, use your words to declare blessings and breakthrough. Speak life over your challenges and obstacles. You can declare God's protection, provision, and favor over everything you face. Your words carry the power to transform your life when spoken in faith and trust in God's authority.